and welcome to another edition of the PLAC podcast, brought to you by the 2023 Interns. My name is Yasser Kassam from Kano State, and I'll be your host. And with me today are
Theola Ehinome Amekaibo from Edo State.
Abdulwahab Muhammad Yusuf from the Kingdom of Great Intellect, Kogi State.
Catherine Panja from Nasarawa State.
Awesome, great to have you guys. So the topic we'll be discussing today is youth-centered bills so far brought over by the 10th National Assembly. But before we really get into it, I want us to have a little overview about what we mean by youth-centered and youth empowerment. And I think we'll all agree that youth empowerment is important for the success of our nation, as it provides young people with the adequate support and skills they need to succeed, especially in these fraught times as the country has a lot of issues. We are the future, but for us to be able to reach our full potential, the government has to take concise efforts in providing services and tools for us to succeed. And I think that's what a lot of these bills try to address. So some of the bills we're going to be looking at include the Student Loans Act Amendment Bill 2023. There's two versions of it, the House Bill 113 and the Senate Bill 43. Similarly, we'll take a look at the House Bill 04, which is an act to establish the National Youth Welfare Scheme Fund, as well as a Senate Bill 77, which is an act to amend the National Youth Service Corps Act to provide safety and protections and such matters for young people. And finally, it will be the Senate Bill 55, which is one of my favorites, an act to institutionalize the inclusion of digital technology in schools, curriculums for secondary and tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Before we get really into the crux of it, what do you guys think of these bills? Abdulwahab?
Well, I feel the bills are very good, considering the time they are coming. And I feel, however, despite the fact that they are good, I still feel there are some things they need to do, to improve those bills, which we will not really go into that. But generally, I think the bills are good.
Okay, what about you, Catherine? Do you like them?
Yeah, I do. And, considering the jackpot syndrome, so I think these bills are handy. And it shows that, the government is being sensitive to our needs. So I think it's a step in the right direction.
I agree. What about you, Fiona?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on what Catherine said. It's timely, it's sensitive, it's a good attempt. But like Wahab said, there's work. But work has started, so it's promising.
It's a good start. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like you've all mentioned, the current realities and work is necessary for things to be better. How instrumental do you think these ideas for bills are to the empowerment of young people in Nigeria today? I'll give that to you, Abdulwahab.
Okay, the bills are very nice, like I said, but in the areas of empowerment, I think one of the bills that focus more on empowerment is the one that seeks to establish the vocational center.
Okay, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So it seeks to achieve a vocational center where certain skills will be learned. And then while I appreciate the fact that this bill is coming up, another issue is the implementation, and that's where the work is. And currently there's in Nigeria, Korean Friendship Vocational Center somewhere in Kogi State, which I know of. So I also feel like in the process of considering this bill, I feel that center should also be considered, so that we don't have maybe a duplication of responsibilities or functions and all that. However, I don't think there has been any legal framework for vocational training. So the introduction of this bill, it's a
good first step.
Yes, it's a step in the right direction. Right. And then I'm very certain that it will really go a long way in empowering the youth and then addressing the unemployment issues and other ancillary matters.
Still on empowerment though, do you think if there's overall concise effort with these bills? Do you think they cover what's necessary, Theola?
Based on the bills brought forward by the 10th National Assembly. I feel they've made like efforts to really touch on some of the things that are really affecting Nigerian youth, which is number one, and unemployment. We all know that. So I think like what Wahab said, the bill about vocational centers is also very timely. Then, you know, youths, we are always complaining about NYSC. Then there's something on NYSC. Then there's the students' loan. It feels broad. It feels like it's covering everything. So I would actually commend that.
Okay.
Yes,
I like that.
of course.
Yola, you touched on unemployment, and I want to stick with that for a second. Catherine, you're a young person, I presume, and you've gone through these bills. How do you think, if they were eventually signed into law, they can help curb the challenges of growing unemployment amongst young people like ourselves?
I'm quite positive about it, you know, especially looking at the students' loan bill, you know, amending to extend the time to which, you know, the beneficiaries pay back the loan. So I think 5 years is a reasonable time for anybody to start a business, and employ people, employ persons, few persons, you know.
Employ even, okay.
Get a
But
great
what
output.
if you don't have money to start the business?
It's giving you've gotten the money.
But the
The
loan
loan
is
is for
for
education.
education.
The loan is to take you to school.
To take you to school.
You're not getting the money yourself. In fact, they're
And
gonna
that's
probably
why
pay
they
it
give
to your
you 5
institution.
years.
Right.
5 years is
I
enough.
feel that's-
Except if you're a lazy Nigerian youth.
What do you
Well-
think, Yola? Do you think that's fair?
Me, I don't think it's fair because we need to really be sensitive to the realities of what Nigerian youths go through. Like the output in our universities, it doesn't tally with the amount of jobs in the market. And really, how many people are going to sell shoes on the internet?
Yes,
Like it's almost like a new NYSC. Immediately you
or
graduate.
POS.
Like no, it's a noble profession, you get, but it's not what a lot of people envision for themselves. So even if they want to start, I saw something on Twitter recently. The person was like, the way Nigeria is now, at the age of 30, you'll be doing like one job and like 60 side hustles. Only you are selling cards. Only you are doing POS.
That is what is entailed of a capitalist economy.
Yeah,
What are you expecting?
but
But 1.2 million, that's 100,000 a month. Is that a fair amount for 10% to be removed as payment for a loan? Because that's what they're saying. 10%.
But I think it
It's
can be
just a
spread.
minimum.
I think it can be
1.2
spread.
million naira is the minimum.
Right. Let's say you earn minimum of what it takes for them to take your money, and they're taking 10,000 naira out of your 100,000 naira a month salary.
10,000 naira. Come on.
Well,
Out of 100,000
no,
naira.
it's
That's
fair.
Times are tough.
It's reasonable.
It's
Okay.
fair.
The thing is that I feel like
same
people will be
times
more
and tough will
intentional.
not achieve anything in this
People will be
country.
more intentional about going to school. Sure, you know, like I will not take loan to go and be reading rubbish. It's a lie. If I go
But
to
you don't be getting carried over.
I will not. I will say this is basic, so I must work for this basic. You get see, there are benefits.
yes,
and
and
Yeah.
and I feel if we make it more liberal, like if the rules are a bit relaxed, people will not take it seriously. Whether we like it or not, this is an investment
Yes.
for the government. It's not all kind of investment that you get return. Perhaps the return they are expecting is just graduate, be useful
Get
to
job.
yourself
Right.
and to society.
They are Nigerian.
I mean, that's a
If
lot
you
of
give them
that's
10
a lot of
million
return,
naira,
right?
money will never be enough for them.
No, but you know the fact that they are taking that amount from your money, if they reduce it, people will not take it seriously, and then it will lose its value. You know. So to me, it's fair. I mean,
Okay.
it's perfect.
You know, gunning off that, the importance of education and the needs to improve our education system. In what ways do you think the curriculum in schools in Nigeria can be improved to ensure that us young people have the right necessary skills for the current job market, Theola?
Okay, so I think I'm going to just double back to the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember during that time, private schools, because I was in school then, yes. So private schools, my counterpart in private schools would be like, oh, we have lecture this morning, we have this one, we are writing
Online
tests.
lectures.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, why are you peppering me? Because we didn't have anything of the sort, because I attended the University of Benin, so we didn't have online classes. As they said, go home, we went home and came back. So with this bill, which like seeks to like include these digital solutions to have some kind of blended learning is actually really, really great. It's timely, it's necessary, and particularly it's particularly for public schools. So that's one way our curriculum, not just integrating it, but also teaching people how to use it, because we have graduates today that do not know how to send an email. Yeah, and it's not entirely their fault, because I'm always like, you only get out of people what you put into them. But then integrating this digital learning, which the bill seeks to do, is very, very useful. Then, but apart from digital, right, there's also the need to include like soft skills into our curriculum. Like, a lot of things are changing. The reality of work right now is not the same thing our parents experience. Like, even parents self is far. Even like millennials or something, they don't understand the concept of work-life balance or communicating like digitally, like over like different geographical backgrounds. It's a concept that is not really familiar to a lot of them. So all of these soft skills, teamwork, collaboration. I remember we had like a session on teamwork, and it was really impactful for me. So imagine if I did that in school. I feel like we'll be producing more like well-rounded graduates.
Right. Do you have anything to add to that, Abdul?
Nothing much really. But then taking her back to the when she was talking about the COVID-19, it reminded me of my experience also. I was in the law school when the pandemic struck, and then we're sent packing, went home. I remember I bought Gary from Enugu market, and I had to pack everything and go home with them. So the thing is, if we say we should go digital, how prepared are we? Yes.
Wow.
How prepared are we?
Wow.
Because that's the question. We were asked to join online classes during the law school, and now we're about in my campus, Enugu campus, we're over 1,000, and then the class could only accommodate 200 persons.
Online.
Yes, the online classes at that time. So now you are asking us to join these classes online, trying to enforce it is compulsory and all that, and then you are not making adequate provisions. And aside that, we even paid school fees to learn physically, and now learning virtually is costing me data and all that. Is this bill going to make provisions for all those things? Are we going to have free Wi-Fi? Are we going to be having free Wi-Fi, free access to the internet? And all these things.
But there are provisions for infrastructure, but of course, implementation.
That's my fear in Nigeria. Trust me, that's my fear.
So, we spoke about a lot of things ranging from education, empowerment, and digital skills. So going back to what you said in the beginning about the importance of vocational skills, very insightful. I want to take us back a little bit, though. I know you started about talking about how much you like the vocational skills bill. And looking back, the bill, which I didn't mention in the beginning, is the Senate Bill 16, a bill for an act to establish a National Vocational Centre. And to you, Theola, what is your take on this establishment bill for human capital development, especially with the sort of current transition from traditional skills to more tech-based skills? What do you think about that?
First of all, I think I'll just start with I want to comment on the fact that we are transitioning from traditional to tech-based. I don't think it's a tradition. I don't think it's a transition, excuse me. I feel it's an addition, because traditional skills will never go out of fashion. You would always need artisans. You would always need a plumber, except you don't want to use the toilet. You will always need a carpenter. You will always need all of those things. So it is an addition. And if I want to build on that, if you check the bill, everything is great, the intention is great, right? But if you check the bill, they listed the kind of courses like they would take in the vocational centers. We had, like I mentioned before, woodwork, plumbing, shoemaking, and all of those things. Great, but there was nothing on tech skills. Now, it is also a vocation, because when you think of vocation, you're thinking, okay, a person is going to school or learning this trade to live by it. You understand, to be an expert. And there are people that are leaving secondary school, right, and going straight into tech. There are people, they are always using all this all these founders say, and this one,
yes.
this one left school, this one is a lie, go to school. But they are always like, you can as long as you are literate, you can learn a tech skill. So why is it not included in a vocational center? Do you get?
I think that's
that's my only reservation with the bill. Please add cloud computing,
Coding.
add software engineering, because there are people like, to be honest, our curriculum in school, people feel like it's no longer like useful.
No, not
Obsolete.
you can mention my name.
I
feel
like it's no longer useful.
mention
Like
my name.
obsolete. That's what
So
now.
Abraham, what could you add to that? What do you want to add to that?
Yes, just like she said.
Yeah.
Personally, I believe I don't believe there is anything like traditional skill.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
skill is skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need them.
Yes.
Why do we need them? The population of Nigeria is increasing day by day. Unfortunately for my country, we rely on statistics from World Bank, which is not supposed to be so. I mean, that's a story for another day. But then the statistics given by World Bank about the population increase, and all that, the projection,
70% increase in youth work
so
rates.
insofar our population will be increasing, I think there's still the need for all these skills. So to me, it's in order. However, my grouse is, the bill fails to address things like skills like dancing, like singing. I mean, those are skills. People are making money
Now,
for
what are you
it.
saying? Do you know how much skit makers make?
course.
What if they actually put skit making and legalize it?
Yeah, and then
People are laughing.
not even like try to, create something around
Now,
it.
Seriously,
that's
the
an art.
So those are skills I feel they should
It's an
include.
art. Skit making is an
Those
art.
are skills I feel they should include. Dancing. These people twisting.
Videography. Do you get videography?
I agree.
So I mean, it's lacking. And I
in all
feel,
in all, what do we think? Do we think these bills are a good step forward? Do you think they're lacking, Catherine?
I have my reservation with the NYC bill, where it makes it mandatory, compulsory for government institutions to not reject NYC.
Cohort.
Because I mean, I've been interning at the National Assembly, and in my committee alone, we have 4 coppers, 1 intern, 1 IT student, with virtually no role.
For some of the
Function.
And then you're making it compulsory for the government to just keep them coming. You must take
Bring
them.
it on.
I don't think it's feasible. That's my take.
Okay. Fiona, final thoughts?
My final thoughts, like I said at the beginning, well intentioned, yeah. But I think I'd recommend that the consultative process be a bit more thorough.
Okay.
It needs to be thorough, because when we have these public hearings, you see academics, researchers, people that I feel like are not really they know the issue, right? But they've not experienced it. I don't know if that makes sense. They do not currently experience it. So I feel like, for example, now, when they were doing this vocational center bill, if they had invited me, I would have told them that, sir, please put cloud computing.
But you still have
coding.
Yes, of course.
Not
But
that
I'm
it's a lot,
saying if they bring people that are currently experiencing what they intend to address with the bill, they would have a bill or whatever that is comprehensive, that everybody benefits from.
But it's not.
Final thoughts?
It's not too late. Yes, my final thought also is on it's on the NYC Act. The Amendment Act. Sorry. It makes it mandatory for the government to take core members.
To not reject them.
Not to reject them. And then it makes it in government agencies. That's the operative word. Government agencies. Now, how many government agencies do we have?
Exactly.
And where is their location? If we take a step backward to the whole idea behind this NYC scheme, it's the aftermath of the Civil War after the Civil War in 1970. In 1973, the former head of state, Yakubu Gowon, came up with these 3 principles or theories of 3 R's: reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reconciliation. Thank you. Of to heal the wound or the scar of the Civil War. So now, if you concentrate these core members in government agencies, how do you think that will achieve the intention of the NYC scheme? It will never achieve it, because now maybe the government agencies, apart from Abuja, Lagos, and then maybe Port Harcourt, and then all other parts of the country, all other states. Maybe you have just government agencies in the local government. How many core members are going to camp every batch? Not every batch all over Nigeria. Every batch is recording over 30-something thousand core members.
Right.
So a batch, not a whole set. And then after every 2-3 months, another batch is going. Why summer? So it's a whole lot. I think doing that, it's not really a nice idea. It defeats entirely the purpose and the intendment of the NYSC scheme.
That's very insightful.
Yes.
Well, I think we should leave it there. It was very insightful discussions. I think maybe we could summarize by saying that the bills are a good first step.
Yeah, they are good. They
There's
are
a
good
lot
stuff.
work yet to be done.
Yes.
So thank you, very insightful discussions. But I'd like to leave us with this thought by Stephen J. Gould, who says, "I am somehow less interested in the weight and convolutions of Einstein's brain than in the near certainty that people of equal talent have lived and died in cotton fields and sweatshops." My thought behind that is that what people really need is an opportunity, and when they have the opportunity, the sky's their limit.
Yeah.
So thank you all. Thank you, Thiola.
Welcome.
Thank you, Abu Wahab. And thank you, Kathy, for
Thank
sharing
you.
your thoughts.
Thank you.
And I'd like to say a special thank you to PLAC and the European Union for putting together this brilliant program. And I hope you'll join us again soon for another edition of the PLAC podcast.